Journalists can shape the public opinion by determining what issues are given most attention or priorities.
Nigerian media professionals champion solution-based reporting for a brighter 2025.
Seen tremendous successes in the last few months, and we will continue to maintain the tempo.
Security improves in Kaduna. Defense Minister hails Governor Sani and security agencies for restoring peace to troubled areas.
It makes me more hungry. It makes me want to work harder.
And in sports, two-time world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua aims for a third title. Tonight, we continue to bask in the dawn of a radiant new year, filled with promise and possibilities. Just as the lights that adorn the NTA headquarters here in Abuja shine bright, symbolizing the illumination of knowledge, the warmth of community, and the joy of celebration that defines this special time of year, the second day of the year of the new year. And in this season of renewal and rebirth, we welcome you to tonight's newscast as we explore the themes, challenges and triumphs of the year just past and prospect on the narratives that will shape the year ahead. I am Jumbo Yusuf, and Hingino John Adams joins us tonight from Lagos. Benny Adams is on business news and Bade Adele is on sports. Remember, you can watch this news broadcast live on our social media handles displayed on the screen. I would also like to say Happy New Year once again. And yes, the champagne has been popped. The resolutions have been made. And the bills, well, the bills are coming for you, literally. Let's start with this funny video, but dwell more on what is playing out in the hilarious scene. It's a parody descriptive of the unlucky person who thought they could outrun their expenses, but instead find themselves in a frantic game of dodgeball, with the bills piling up and chasing after them. For a good number of people, this caricature holds true, as their pockets are about to get a whole lot lighter and their stress levels a whole lot heavier. And as a bid farewell to the challenges of 2024, Nigerians from all walks of life are eager to share their hopes, aspirations, and concern for the year ahead. We do have some of them here with us in the studio. These ones are representatives of Nigeria's vibrant population, each with their own story, needs and goals. We're practically going to host our own mini town hall here in the studio. And our participants embody the diversity and resilience of the Nigerian spirit. We also do have our own very own Ruth Aguele moderating the conversation, which will explore the key concerns that Nigerians want addressed in 2025. And of course, this panel will talk about the pressing issues that need resolution. We would also hear some of the plans and aspirations that our participants have for the year 2025. Let me hand you over to you, Ruth, at this point. Hello, Ruth.
Hello, Jumai. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Have I said that to you this year? I don't think so. And Happy New Year to you, Nigerians. Well, of course, this is our own mini town hall session we're about to have. You know, it's the start of the year. A lot of people have expectations, resolutions based on what has played out in year 2024. But I won't be the one sharing my experiences or challenges or hopes and aspiration. We have Nigerians cut across from diverse cultures here and, of course, religion, you know, to share perspective, you know, for expectations in the coming year. But we'll start by getting to know what were the challenges, you know, some of them experienced in the outgone year, talking about 2024. I'll start with our mommy in the house. She's the elderly person here. So, Madam Tina Ife, please introduce yourself to us. But I know you're a civil servant, you're a petty trader. Please tell our viewers.
Happy New Year to everybody. We will continue to say Happy New Year because we are on New Year.
So, how do you feel? It's the start of a new year. Tell us, what were the challenges that was peculiar to you in the outgone year? If you look at it from a general perspective, how it affected your business as a petty trader and as an elderly person.
These challenges of financial crisis, especially as a civil servant, we couldn't find it very easy. Transportation was too high to the extent that we have to do adjustment. Whether you like it or not, you have to adjust yourself, and at the same time, it taught us a lot of lessons, how to manage homes and adjust. As a civil servant and as a petty trader, I manage myself. When I go to market to buy things, the way I bought it last time, by the time you go tomorrow, you will see that the price is too high. We couldn't find it very easy.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Tina, for sharing that with us. And I like the fact that you have adjusted your budget. Your home too have adjusted.
Yes.
So let's get to hear from Choma. Choma is representing the disability community in Nigeria. We're trying to promote inclusivity here. So Choma, please introduce yourself to us.
Okay, my name is Egede Choma. I'm FCT chairperson for persons with spinal cord injury.
Okay, so we all know some of the challenges that are peculiar to persons with disabilities, they apply. But share with us from your perspective and as a representative from the disability community, what would you say, were some of the peculiar challenges in the outgone year and what you hope to see get better?
For me, I would start by saying the accessibility. It was quite difficult in 2024 because most public buildings are not accessible. For a person with disability, especially persons with physical disability, it's so difficult to get to public buildings, the banks, the hospitals. So that accessibility is a very huge challenge. And then the area where we have limited persons with disability in governance, it makes it a bit difficult for persons with disability. Thank you.
But of course, Choma, you agree with me that this outgone year, there was a commitment from the federal government. We saw the appointment of the senior special assistant to the president on equal needs and opportunities, of course, representing the disability community. But we're hoping the new year will bring new hope.
Yeah, actually, we have there's a lot of improvement based on the Disability Act, where we have the SSA representing persons with disability, and then the National Commission. That has actually been helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Indeed. All right. So, of course, part of the challenges I know some of you might have encountered, we may not have enough time to hear your challenges, but let's just keep, to resolutions, some of the assertions you came up with. Mr. Genesis, as a legal practitioner, you looked at Nigeria from a wider perspective, and also from you to also looking at yourself as an individual. What would you say were some of the resolutions you came up with based on what has played out in the outgone year and what you want to see in the year 2025?
Okay, my first resolution is my dedication to ensuring that ordinary Nigerians have access to justice. For as many that God had brought my way, or God will bring my way, to get access to justice, I am devoted this year to make sure that they have access to that. One of the other resolutions I have made for the year 2025 is to make sure that I manage my expectations. I don't want to depend too much on things that I don't have control over. So I have resolved to manage my expectations for this year. I've also made the resolution that this 2025 is going to be my year of devotion to making sure that I give priority to family, I give priority to my health. They say health is wealth.
Indeed.
So I'm not joking with that area of my life. And I desire to see, as a Nigerian, That the government make life easy for us.
Okay.
Yes. So
All right,
those are
so-
my resolutions.
Okay, thank you so much, Genesis. I like the fact you included your health. Health is wealth, and I'm sure you're a family man, so you're putting all that into perspective. John Paul, you are a security expert. You know, we have our own challenges in Nigeria when it comes to security issues. But yes, we've seen improvement. But tell us your resolution for this year.
Basically, my resolution for this year is to save more money. I couldn't save more.
I like that
couldn't
one.
save money. I couldn't hit my target last year. You know, the fuel price, flight tickets, and all that. So this year, the major resolution for me this year is to leave Etia. I want to eat Etia. I want to lose weight. I want to create times to go to gym, burn some fat, lose weight, and basically just be a better Nigerian this year.
Okay.
And
What about
that's
from a
it.
general perspective? What
Yeah,
would you
generally.
contribute as a Nigerian?
Yeah, as a Nigerian, I want to be the change I want
To
for
see.
my country.
Yeah.
I want to be the change, and that's my advice for all Nigerians as well.
Thank you so much for that. We love patriotic Nigerians here.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Anne, you are a mother, and of course, you are an entrepreneur. And I'm sure as an entrepreneur, you have your challenges, but let's not dwell on your challenges. Let's look at some of the resolutions you have come up with for you first as an individual and on a broader perspective as a Nigerian.
Okay. Good evening, Nigeria. For me, I think I need to be more strategic in how I deal with my business, how to improve and make sure that it's better than what it was in 2024. We experience a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to infrastructural facilities like power, and also ensure that your products are in shape and better services, providing better services. So for me, I expect that this year I will have better infrastructure to ensure that my business becomes better, and for Nigeria, a better life for everyone. A better life for everyone. So the hardship that we experienced in 2024, we don't want to see that in 2024.
Okay, so let's hear from Arnold. Arnold, do you want to tell us your expectation for the new year? We have the budget of restoration. She talked about she wants a better life for every Nigerian, and we know the budget of restoration, the proposed budget, is budget for restoration. So there is hope, but let's hear it from you.
Well, my expectation for the new year actually ties into something that my contemporary just mentioned. He said he would like to be a better Nigerian, and he did advise other Nigerians to follow suit. And to that, I would like to say that I hope that in this year, and of course in the coming years, that our government will make it easier to be a good Nigerian, and let the right thing be rewarded, and let people's diligence be praised. And yes, that's something I'd like to see.
Yeah, and I know you work closely with the remote areas. You're a sales representative, so I'm sure you're speaking from experience.
Oh, yes.
Okay, great. Let's hear from Mohammed. Mohammed, you're an engineer. I'm sure you have your own fair share. So
Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Akub Mohammed. And just like what every other Nigerians wish, Nigerians, we are very, very, very tolerant people.
Yeah.
We love peace a lot. Give us a peace of mind and you'll take everything from us. My expectations and resolutions this year is for me to make sure things I have been doing that makes me spend more money. I will cut off those things, try as much as possible to reduce my expenses, and then see how I could save more and do more things for my people and my community at large. But the bottom line of all this is being a better Nigerian.
I love that. Let's hear from Daye Obong. I hope I got your name right.
Just call me DM.
DM for short.
Yes.
Okay, so DM.
So-
You're a media practitioner.
Yes.
So you know all the information and you are the voice for the people. So tell us.
My expectations for this year are pretty simple. Because it's a new year and everything that's coming up is going to be quite interesting. As a media person, the media field is going to be more engaging this year. So I just expect for the government and everybody to just be more invested in that side. So it's going to be an interesting year. So I'm expecting good things, essentially.
I like
Very
the positive mindset, getting here. Abdusalami Ladigbolu, I hope I got your name right. So please, you are a UNESCO ref president. So working with the international community, this is not new for Nigeria. And you as a representative, what role do you want to play in this year, and also your expectation on a larger perspective?
Well, my expectation for 2025, I would expect the government to work with more relevant stakeholders so that they can enhance mitigating the national security threat through non-kinetic approach, and also to try and work with more genuine stakeholders to create more alternative means of food production so that we can reduce hunger and also reduce poverty by enhancing the economical value of Nigerian women. And during communicating with the Nigerian citizen, I think they should be more find a way of simplifying the information so that we can get it right. And the naysayers will not make use against the government.
Yeah, talking about bridging the gap to information. There's a whole lot, of course, I know Nigerians out there expecting this new year, Jomai. But first of all, I want to thank our, guests here who have been, remarkable for this mini town hall session. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us. And we do appreciate it, you coming on the Network News. And of course, we're hoping that this year, 2025, will be better for each and every one of us. So I also have my own expectation, but I'm going to share that with you after the news, because of course it's not about me, right? We're just going to hope and be, at the center of affairs to monitor development as they unfold while we keep hope alive, Jomai.
Indeed, we all have expectations for 2024 and we pray that it comes true. Thank you so much, Ruth. And I would like to appreciate our participants for their thoughts and insights. We will, in the coming days and weeks, pursue further conversations on how the government and stakeholders can work together to create a better future for all Nigerians. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Jomai.
There will be more news on the other side of the break. Don't go away. You're watching NTA Network News. Media practitioners in the country have called for a shift in the tradition of problem reporting style to a more constructive solution-based reportage and setting agenda in various public spaces in 2025. They made the call while setting agenda for the year 2025. Larry Gbele has more on this.
There is a reason why the news media and its practitioners are being called the fourth estate of the realm. This unofficial but widely accepted role connotes the importance of news media ability in guiding and nudging the government and the public towards a positive direction in their storytelling. They have over the years become a constant reminder for government to deliver on its promises made to the citizens.
Journalists can shape the public opinion by determining what issues are given most attention or priorities.
As journalists, we go out, we investigate and report on issues.
Fact checks must also be created in all the media organizations to ensure that the information we are giving to the people are truly the facts and best to inform and then to educate, to entertain citizens.
They say Nigerian media practitioners should do more of solution storytelling that enlightens and creates public awareness. In Lagos, Larry Gbele, NTA.
Now let's bring you up to speed with other news. As talking security, Kaduna State is now witnessing better security situation, with peace returning to many areas, particularly the once troubled Benengwari and Giwa local government areas. Issues of banditry and kidnapping for ransom are gradually diminishing, with isolated incidents occasionally. Reviewing the year 2024, the Minister of Defense visited Kaduna, where he commended the gallant security personnel and the Chief Security Officer of the state, Governor Obasani, who he says has played a critical role in supporting the security agencies. The report.
The Northwest has been battling with security challenges, displacing people in their homes and villages. is, with the security agencies striving hard to find a lasting solution to this lingering problem. The Minister of Defense and his team, who have taken the front seat, providing the necessary support for the security agencies to succeed, are moving from one state to another to assess the situation on ground. Undeterred by the late hours, the team arrived Government House Kaduna, all in a mission to strengthen collaboration with the state government to end security challenges in the region.
We have seen tremendous successes in the last few months, and we will continue to maintain the tempo with your support. We will continue to push, and our troops are ready and willing to fight this to an end.
I must not end my remarks without expressing our profound appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his uncommon and sustained support to the Northwest.
While in Kaduna, the minister visited the Operation Fansanyama formation in Binongwari. The state government has also been providing the necessary support to the security agencies. Last year, these vehicles and motorcycles were distributed to various security agencies in the state. This combined effort has led to the reopening of the once closed cattle market in Binongwari and the surrender of over 200 bandit camps. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Umrajingi, NTA.
And in Borno State, the police command led by CP Yusufu Muhammad Lawal has demonstrated commitment to public safety with the successful recovery of 3 projectiles in the Dala Kafanti area of Maiduguri. The incident occurred earlier today at approximately 9:25 a.m. where a resident reported spotting a suspicious sack behind her house in Dala Kafanti. Acting swiftly, Command's EOD CBRN unit secured the area and recovered 3 projectiles from the sack, and preliminary investigations suggest the items were abandoned by unknown individuals earlier that morning. To enhance public safety, the community was educated on explosive ordnance risk awareness and safety precautions. However, Borno State Commissioner of Police reassures residents of the command's dedication to public safety, just as citizens are urged to stay vigilant and report suspicious activities or objects through the emergency contacts. 08068075581 or 0802-347-3293. It is a global menace, and Nigeria has been up and running in playing its part in fighting it. Cases of trafficking in persons, gender violence, and child abuse have nosedived in 2024. Apparently, this has a lot to do with the fighting spirit of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, which says it has rescued more than 20,000 victims of human trafficking in the last 365 days. Now let's join Amina Baba Suleiman for more details.
Nigeria is rated as a source, transit and destination country for human trafficking, with women and children being the major victims. This led to the establishment of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in year 2003. Statistics indicates that since the establishment of the agency 21 years ago, cases of human trafficking have dropped drastically in the country. Records indicates that the agency has convicted over 700 traffickers and rescued over 28,000 victims of human trafficking in cases of sexual and gender-based violence in the country. For instance, in year 2022, the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, recorded the highest number of rape cases, out of which NAPTIP convicted 4 individuals, with 2 receiving life imprisonments. In year 2023, NAPTIP received 1,278 sexual and gender-based violence complaints from the FCT, with the top issues being spousal battery, abandonment, inflictions of physical injury on children and rape.
They killed fowl, they use it to rub my body. I don't have an option. I take an oath that if I should try going back, I will die.
Do you know who we are? We are Romagas, and we'll hold you. This one will hold you here, this one will hold you here, and there will 5 guys here will sleep with you.
My hand is paralyzed, and I can't be able to do anything with it now. That was the pathetic story of this 11-year-old boy, a victim of child trafficking. He is among the victims rescued by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
The husband pour me fuel. He wants to light me fire. It's one old woman that come outside. The way I'm screaming, the woman now here, she now come outside and save me.
In year 2015, the National Assembly enacted the Violence Against Person Prohibition Act, mandating NAPTIP to appoint protection officers in the 6th Area Council in the FCT to assist the courts, police, and service providers in the fight against gender-based violence. Consequently, in year 2024, NAPTIP increased advocacy through enlightenment and sensitization, targeting the unreached villages and communities across the country. The agency also set up state task forces in human trafficking with members drawn from the state across Nigeria. A new Director General of NAPTIP was appointed in the under review.
Our strategies in the implementation of the National Action Plan on Human Trafficking in Nigeria 2022 to 2026. Through this platform, we seek to ensure that our work remains targeted, effective, and in line with the global best practices.
NAPTIP, in collaboration with partners, commemorated the 2024 16 Days of Activism against Gender-Based Violence and Human Trafficking. Similarly, founding fathers of Women Trafficking and Child Labor Eradication Foundation, Wardcliffe, celebrated 25 years of establishment of the organization. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, joined by dignitaries, advocates, and supporters, commemorated the foundation's ongoing legacy in Nigeria.
Our unwavering dedication to combating human trafficking and child labor has changed countless lives. She did not merely witness the suffering of women and children, she took decisive action to lead the charge for change.
With the present activities of the agency, human traffickers in Nigeria will definitely have a hot and unpleasant 2025. Amina Baba Sleman, NTA News.
Indeed, Amina, they will have a hot and unpleasant experience if they come to Nigeria to take people out. Thank you so much, Amina. Time now to bring Hingino John Adams into the network news lineup. Hello, Hingino. Happy New Year. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Jumai, and welcome to Lagos. The recent introduction of various infrastructure by the government has continued to have impact on the development of the country. In this report, Lynn Leneke examines some developmental initiatives in the maritime industry.
Nigeria's blue economy is targeting 2 trillion naira by 2027, and to achieve this, critical infrastructure needs to be given the desired attention and necessary policies formulated. Securing the maritime domain is also important. That is why stakeholding agencies are collaborating with the nation's Navy. Key players say the massive upgrade of critical areas in the transportation sector and several infrastructure under rehabilitation, 2025 already looks bright.
Nigeria's marine and blue economy stand as a pivotal sector to foster sustainable economic growth of the nation. We will be looking at such areas like strengthening the blue governance, transforming port operations, enhancing port infrastructure, and promoting blue economy investment. This roadmap is designed in such a way as to enable our ministry to fulfill its mission of formulating and implementing policies, programs, and initiatives that will facilitate the development of an inclusive marine and economic ecosystem.
Completion of projects such as Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, among others, will open up the export and import potential of the country, as well as improve ease of doing business.
As soon as this is concluded, a lot of congestion on our internal routes will become, less by over 90%. The problem we have in transshipment of goods at our Papa Wharf will become a thing of the past. A train station is also starting at kilometer 16, and this is going to run all the way to Calabar.
Experts are optimistic that the present administration's efforts in realizing its vision of improving the nation's economy is on course in the coming year. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
Education is a fundamental right for all children, regardless of their abilities. This means giving children with special needs the same opportunities for education and personal growth as their peers is their right. In this report, correspondent takes a look at government's effort towards inclusive education. Accessing quality education sometimes can be challenging for children with special needs. That is why embracing inclusive education is important, as it values diversity and promotes the participation of all students, regardless of their abilities, disabilities, or backgrounds. As the federal government revamps the education sector, it is also considering children with special needs.
We have a national policy on inclusive education. The national policy is very detailed, and in that it takes into account the different groups that we have in the country, including the special needs. So the government has put in place a mechanism to ensure the full implementation of that national policy on inclusive education.
Since inclusive education is also about creating a learning environment that values and supports the diversity of all students, key players believe with the right infrastructure, learning facilities, and plans, children with special needs will achieve their potential.
In our own intervention or initiative of establishing 37 smart schools which promote digital education, in all of these schools, we have provided and or taken care of the physically challenged learners.
What we are trying now to do is to have a curriculum that will be in concordance with the yearning of individuals based on their needs.
With inclusive education in Nigeria now gaining the interest of many, it is expected that children with special needs will have access to individualized education plans that cater to their unique needs and abilities. In Lagos, those are the reports from Lagos. Network News continues with Jummai in Abuja after the break. You're welcome back, and time now for Benny Adams to tell us the outlook and the economy for 2025. Hello Benny, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Jumai. Happy New Year to you. And today is the first day of business. I will start by telling you that Nigeria's 2022 economic outlook, its eyes will be looking at it from the different eyes of different stakeholders amid microeconomic challenges that seem to ease off by the day. And looking at the numbers at this point in time, looking at it, talking about our GDP figures, our inflation figures, as well as the exchange rate from the eyes of the World Bank here, the International Monetary Fund, the African Development Bank, the Economic Association, Nigeria Economic Summit Group, as well as the federal government. We see that at this point, the federal government thinks in 2025 we're going to have GDP growth at 3.89% from the 3.46% that we have today. But the World Bank, as it is at this point, the World Bank thinks we're going to be having 3.70% GDP growth. The International Monetary Fund is taking us to about 3.2%, as well as the African Development Bank 3.40%. As for the inflation numbers that we are anticipating for them to slow down at this point in time, we have 34.6% as Nigeria's inflation figure at this particular point in time as of today, third quarter, as of the numbers for third quarter 2024. And from the projections of the federal government, we are looking at 15% into 2025, talking about the first quarter of the year. And looking at it from the eyes of the World Bank thinks inflation might kind of dwindle to 21%. For the IMF, they're thinking 25%. As for the African Development Bank, it's 20.7%. While the Economic Association, as well as the Nigerian Economic Group, they are kind of indecisive, talking about a possible inflation might still be high, despite the fact that Nigerians believe so well that with the coming up of Nigeria's refineries, talking about the Port Harcourt refinery, the Warri refinery, and some private refineries, talking about the Bua refinery, the cost of petroleum products is going to go down, which advertently will affect the cost of transportation and the thought of food items, which has driven the inflation numbers upwards. And looking at it from the exchange rate, from the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, as well as the African Development Bank, they're a little bit also indecisive about how Nigeria's exchange rate will go. But for the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, they think it will further depreciate. But unlike the FDC pegs the Naira to the US dollar at 1,550 to the US dollar. And looking at pro-share research as well as the federal government, we're looking at 1,650 and 1,500 from around 1,700. That is it on the snapshot for expectations of the economy, talking about first quarter 2025. Let's take a look at the equities market quickly. Nigeria's equities market actually opened the year positive note, rising by 0.25% on Thursday, the first trading day of the year. And on the overall, the capitalization is on the all-share index closed the year very positive at 62.8 trillion naira and 102,926.4 basis points. And looking at numbers, the all-share index for today is 103,180.14 basis points. On the average, we're talking about 0.25% increase, where we had 829.9 million shares being exchanged amongst investors to reach 11,752 deals, and equity capitalization is 62.9, which says we are going to be having a wonderful day in the market. Royal Exchange recorded the highest volume of 291 million traded shares, followed by Champions and ICO Insurance, which is to say the services sector as well as the industry sector is coming tops. What do we saw with the banking stocks ending last year? Well, this is it on business. Jumai, I'm going to be giving you more details as we move into the new year, but make sure you invest in Nigeria's capital market.
Indeed, Benny, and like I always say, may 2025 be kind to us. Thank you so much, Benny. The year 2025 has arrived, bringing with it a significant array of political, economic and social activities planned for the year. In this report, Musa Baba Aliu examines some of the major events scheduled for 2025 around the world. Let's take a listen.
Very much. The inauguration of Donald Trump for his second term as President of the United States is said to be a significant political event with anticipated social and economic ramifications worldwide in 2025. Trump's inauguration as the 47th president is scheduled for Monday, January 20, 2025. Analysts believe that his presidency could foster a potential resolution in the Middle East and help bring an end to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
We'll be talking to President Putin, and we'll be talking to the representatives, Zelensky and representatives from Ukraine. We got to stop it.
Additionally, the escalating tensions between Taiwan and China, as well as the future of Syria following the Bashar al-Assad regime, will be closely monitored in 2025. In Africa, John Mahama is set to be inaugurated as the president of Ghana on January 7, 2025, also making his second term in office similar to Trump's situation in the United States.
Yes, they said he can't come, and he has come. The nation builder is back to build our Ghana for us.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will be making decisions regarding Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso, as these three nations have largely rejected ECOWAS efforts to pass their plans to exit the regional bloc. Furthermore, between January 12 and November 2025, presidential elections will be held in several African countries, including Malawi, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire and Togo, where indirect presidential election is expected to take place. On the global economic front, the World Bank forecasts that global growth will rise to 2.7% in 2025 to 2026. However, this growth is anticipated to be slower in advanced economies and emerging markets. The United States, China, Japan and India are projected to lead the way in economic growth, with sub-Saharan Africa's GDP expected to grow by 4% in 2025 to 2026. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Thank you, Musa. Bade Adele is standing by with the latest world of sports. Hello, Bade. Happy New Year.
Same here. Compliments of the season, Jumai. Let's begin with this interesting story as two-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is targeting a third world title this year, just as he hopes to land the longer-awaited fight with British rival Tyson Fury. Joshua disclosed this after visiting President Bola Tinubu at his Lagos residence, where he presented the president with a signed glove. AJ lost his last fight to Daniel Dubois in September 2024 at the Wembley Stadium in London, with Dubois claiming a fifth-round knockout win. As the 2012 Olympic champion has now revealed, the loss has made him hungrier.
Hunger makes me more hungry, makes me want to work harder, because time is of the essence. Time is limited, so I just want to put in more work. 2024, when I look back, I believe I could have done more, and now I have enough chance in 2025 to do more. I'm going to make sure that I take every opportunity that comes my way.
What are you targeting this year?
Three-time world champion and Tyson Fury.
So when is that happening?
We're not sure, but that's my target. 2025, I'm targeting Tyson Fury.
We're all looking forward to that big fight this year. Now, in line with National Sports Commission's Catch Them Young initiative, the Commission has thrown its weight behind teenage tennis sensation Khadijat Eniojo Mohammed. At only 15, Khadijat has proven to be the next big thing in Nigerian tennis. She's the first West or Central African player to win the ITF J30 World Tour and the first teenager to win the Dala Tennis. But she now needs financial support to get to the next phase of her career. Chairman NSC, Sheudiko, says the Commission will ensure that Khadijat's full potentials are realized as she be shortlisted for the Adopt an Athlete initiative. And finally, on a sad note, Agnes Kelete, the world's oldest living Olympic gold medalist and a Holocaust survivor, has died at the age of 103. The five-time Olympic champion and Hungarian gymnast Kelete won her first gold aged 31 at the 1952 Games in Helsinki, before winning 4 more in Melbourne in 1956 to become the oldest female gymnast to win gold. Her 10 Olympic medals, including 5 gold medals, make Kelete the second most successful Hungarian athlete of all time. And that's our beat on sports. Let's now return to Jume.
Thank you, Buddy. The Northern Regional Caucus of the members of the House of Representatives, led by its chairman and former Majority Leader of the House, Alhassan Adodogwa, was in Dutse to condole with the governor of Jigawa and people of the state over the demise of his mother and son. Mohammed Musa Askira reports that the Northern Caucus members of the House of Representatives prayed for the repose of the souls of the departed.
Northern Regional Caucus of the House of Representatives, led by the Majority Leader Adodogwa, joined other dignitaries, including the Special Assistants to the President on Political Matters Kabiru Masari, Minister of Budget and Planning Atiku Abubakar, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari, Presidential Candidate of Labour Party Peter Obi, and the Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, among many others. While at the Presidential Lodge at the Government House in Dutse, sympathizers commend the resilience, doggedness, perseverance, and fortitude of the Jigawa Governor Umar Namadi for absorbing the shock brought about by the demise of his mother and son, and remain calm and carry on with the development activities in the state.
Certain things happen, can be touching, they can also be traumatizing. But whatever comes from God, it is in His own wisdom.
We stand with you during this difficult time, and we pray that God comforts you and your family.
Allah knows best. When things of this nature happens, we are not, as human beings, we are not to question what Allah has done.
Almighty Allah will forgive their sins and grant them eternal rest, and grant him the fortitude to bear their great irrepressible loss.
Once it is your time, there's no way about it, we're all waiting for our own time.
Governor Umar Namadi thanked the sympathizers for encouraging him. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And that's all for tonight. But as we bid you farewell, we would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you, our loyal viewers, for joining us on this new journey in 2025. Come on, guys. These are the production crew, all smiling and waving, but we couldn't have done it without this incredible team of dedicated professionals who work tirelessly behind the scenes to bring you the news that matters most. So let's give them a round of applause as we begin another countdown to the year's end in 2025. We wish you and your loved ones a year filled with joy, hope, and endless possibilities. May your dreams take flight and may your heart remain filled with love, kindness, and compassion. We have our director, Sagir, we have our engineers, Mukhtar and Nicola, and our prompter lady, Miracle. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I am Juma Yusuf. Bye! Bye. Yeah.